Okay, so we now are going to do chapter 4, vendors and inventory. Just to let you know, this is going to be a long chapter. There's quite a bit to this chapter, so be prepared to at least maybe do the chapter part first, and then if you want to take a break and do the homework part first. But this probably is going to go over an hour, I'm not sure, but I just looked at the chapter and I realized, oh wow, there's quite a bit of work to it. So I'm about to log in and get started. So this chapter is talking about inputting in vendor information and inputting in new inventory, but this is actually going to be tracked inventory. So let me read the beginning for you. It says in this chapter, you want to start by checking your data. We should be aligned, because I always tell you, if there's an error, stop and figure out what went wrong. Checking your data, the file that you sent me or should have sent was the trial balance, and it was 71,366. The students that showed me their work in class did have this, so we were good. If you do not have that from chapter 3, do not proceed. We need to find out where you went wrong. So send me an email and I will look through that with you. So the first thing they go over is a bank reconciliation. So let me give you a quick understanding of what a reconciliation is. So every month you'll get a bank statement either in the mail or via the internet, and you're going to look at that bank statement and see, what checks cleared, what deposits cleared, if any, charges were made. Usually there's a sort of service charge for commercial accounts, and then what your ending balance is. For simplicity reasons, this chapter always has everything clear. Everything that you've deposited and every check that you've written will just clear. So we're just going to check everything. I will tell you, in real life, that's not realistic. Usually there's still going to be some sort of outstanding check, meaning you wrote a check somewhere, maybe it's still in the mail, or they haven't deposited it and hasn't cleared yet. You show in your records that this check should be taken out of your bank account, but the bank hasn't shown it yet. So the check hasn't been deposited on that vendor's end. Or the other way around, you might have deposited a check and it's taken a couple of days for it to clear. So you're showing that you have those monies in your account, but it's not really there. So that's where the reconciliation process happens, where you take into in consideration what hasn't cleared yet. So you wouldn't check it. So let's look how the process goes. So you're going to go to your chart of accounts. So I'm going to go through by going to accounting and then chart of accounts. And then you're going to go to checking. You're going to click checking. Oops, I went down too far. Or you can go to view register, either way. Double click right on top of it or go to view register. And on the top of there, it'll tell you what your balance is. And then you'll see a green button that says reconcile. So you're going to select reconcile. And this little pop-up window will come up and it will ask you, well, looking at your bank statement, what's the date? Okay. So we're going to put the date for October, because remember, we just started this business. So we're going to put the date for October, and the ending balance is what is actually the ending balance in your bank statement. So looking at the chapter, and it also tells you it's $50,803.56. And we would be using the ending date, October 31st, 2022 of this year. And then we'll always use the same date for the service charge, the last day of the year. The last day of the month. And the service charge every month is going to be $20. We'll always put that to 603, which is our bank charges. Okay, so I have 603 over here. Now just let's look at what it's telling us in the book to fill out. The instructions are right here. Scroll down. Tells you go to one-on-one checking and reconcile, and then put this information. And so as we put the 50,803.56, you use the date, we put the $20, and we allocated it to 603 bank charges. And this is what the screen should look like. And then once you've had all of that done correctly, you're going to click Start Reconciling. So I'm going to scroll down. This is not an interest bearing, but if it was an interest bearing, by the way, you would identify how much interest was earned and what income account you would associate that with. But we don't have that in this example. And so we're going to begin reconciling. So what happens is they're going to tell us everything cleared. So if everything cleared, you're going to come down here. Sorry, they're going to have a few because I restarted this account. So you should have little pop-up windows that are kind of walking you through. So if everything clears, you literally would just click this top button. But in realistic situation, you really would be going down each one, clicking them individually, like, okay, this cleared, this cleared, this cleared. But they just tell you in the book, go ahead and say yes, select all. And then when you select all, there should be a $0 difference, because your books should be completely aligned with the bank's book if everything cleared. And yes, we do have a $0 difference. Now, I can't stress this enough. If you click this and selected everything and you do not have a $0 difference, stop. Do not force the reconciliation. As you might remember, I was explaining, it's a lot harder to fix a reconciliation after it was forced. So don't do anything. Just exit out of this screen if you don't have zero. Exit out of the screen and we'll figure out later what the problem was. You can continue on, because you can always go back on a reconciliation. So don't worry about it. Don't get panicked. This is something we could probably figure out at a later date. Just continue on without reconciling if you do not have zero. But if you have zero, then great. You want to go finish now. And then when you click finish now, it'll bring you to the screen. So we're going to click done. And then you're going to see history by account. See this history by account on the right? This is a test question. This is also a certification question. History by account is going to list all your bank reconciliations that you've done. And this is where you'd be able to view your report. Ignore what I have down there. That's because I've done this before. So those are actually not really reports. So I'm going to come over here and I could go to view my report, and I would be able to see the report that I just now did. And this is how you would be able to save it in the future. We're not going to do it right now because we're not saving this one. But in the future, you'll have to save one, and that's the steps that you would take in either printing or saving it. You would go over here to printing, and you would have an option of save as PDF. But we're not going to do that now. I just wanted to show you that. And then after that, I'm looking at my book. It has you go look at a couple of reports. Go ahead and do that, because I'm not going to take my time with that, but I do want you to still follow what it has in the book. So look at your trial balance and look at the difference. Now that you did your bank reconciliation, you'll see the service charge there for $20. Then they have you go to your vendor page and look at the vendors that you currently have from the checks we wrote. There's no information on there. We just went add new and you put the names in. So you could look at that as well. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to fast forward to writing checks. That's the next thing that they have us doing. Let me see where that's. Is it here? I went too far. Maybe it's on the bottom of here. Here it is. Okay. So this is the check register they have us do, and we already know it's $50,803.56 because we just literally did the reconciliation. So we know that that's our balance and we're good to go. So let's write these few checks. So the first one that they have here is check number 1026. And it's to SPR Gas, November 1st. So let's go down here. You should have SPR Gas. I'm going to select that. And the date is November 1st, 2022. And then it should be pre-populated. We already have it as 635 utilities. And this month, it's $84. So I'm going to override it, $84.32. And then I'm going to go save and new. The next check is Western Telephone, same date. They're all going to be November 1st. So now I'm going to select Western Telephone. Same date, 11/01. It will be populated for you, and it's still $76.19. So I'm going to go save and new. The next one is Hours Delivery with an H. These are all the same date. And we have to override the amount to $46.96. I'm sorry, $46.90, 46.90. Save and new. The next check is to Moss Advertising for $125. Let's scroll down. The last check was $125, so we're just going to go save and new. And then the last check is to a paper supply company. There is a description I show here. Let me just check does your book have the description as well? Yes, it just says envelopes. So they want us to write envelopes. So we're going to write paper supply company for $127.96. All right, scroll down here, and under description, they want us to write envelopes. And the amount was $127.96, $127.96. I'm still going to do save and new and check my balance. My balance here says I should have 50343.19. 50343.19. Wonderful. So now I can exit out. And I'm going to skip the next couple of things they have you do. They tell you to go to the dashboard, make sure you see that 50343.19. We just checked that. So I'm going to go on to the next thing, and it has us adding new vendors. So you would go to expenses on your navigation pane. It's up here. And then under there, you would see vendors. So you're going to select vendors. And in your screen might look a little different because remember, you have that QBOA account, but mine has the green button, new vendor. You should have something along those lines. And this will bring up it will pop up your vendor information window. And so we're going to put, these are vendors that we want to put the information in. So we're going to put an email. We're going to put the contact person because these are companies that we're going to be purchasing on a regular basis and we might need to contact them. So we want to have that information here. So let's do the first one. I actually have all of this, so I'm only going to do the first one with you. So it's Mr. Peter McClellan. And the company is Ample Store, Inc. And then the display name, they want you to select Ample Store Inc. So make sure you come down here because you do have to override it and put Ample Store Inc. because it will automatically put Mr. Peter McClellan. So you have to override that. Make sure you do that because if you don't, you're going to have problems later. When you go to vendor, it's not going to come up as Ample Store. So that's where you want. The display name is going to be what it shows when you write a check or create a bill. And then the address. So let me scroll down a little bit. The address, and this is important to get this correct as well because of sales tax purposes. 200 West Concord Avenue, and that's Palo Alto, California, and it's 94301. And then they have USA. The phone number, let me scroll up here on the right. The phone number, oh, they don't give us the email. They used to, the first edition had it. 650-555-8527. And then they want you to put net 30. Net 30. And they want you to put as of November 1st. And I would do that just because this way you won't by mistake create a bill on the date, you know, populate by mistake the bill. Bills and pay bills tend to do that. It'll go back to the date you're at. So this way you want. And then you're going to click save. Now I have it, so I'm not going to click save. And I actually have all this information. So I'm just going to read the next ones to you. So you're going to click save, and then you're going to go and do another vendor. You're going to go back to new vendor because you have 2 more to put in. So we did this one, right? The Ample Store, Mr. Peter McClellan. Now you're going to do the next one. This was all correct. We saved it, right? The next one is Anytime Deployment. So the company is Anytime Deployment. The woman's name is Miss Linda Rios. The address is 1189 West Burnside, Lexington, Massachusetts, 02421. Now you can freeze this real quick if you need to. And I'm going to scroll down a little to finish it up. We have USA 781-555-4671. Make sure you select net 30 and as of November 1st, 2022. And then click save. The next one is Cloud Z Channel. and it's Mr. John Chen. Again, make sure you did for the last one and this one, display name as the company name. Don't forget that. The address is 110 Merritt Street, Menlo Park, California, 94025, USA. Phone number 650-555-3250. The terms is net 30, and it is as of November 1st, 2022. And again, this is in your book. So I'm going through this quickly because I already have all this information. Oh, we have another one. One more after this. And this is also in your book, so you can get this out of the book. The last one is conference call. It's CONF/CALL. It's Miss Geraldine Harrison. Make sure you put display name as conference call. The address is 700 North Prince Street, Tempe, Arizona, 85008, USA, 480-555-2411. Make sure you select net 30 as terms, and it's going to be as of November 1st, 2022. You'll save that. And the next thing they ask you to do is go to reports and look at your contact list. So go ahead and do that. Go to reports, type in vendor contact list, and look, and you'll see that you have several of these ones that we wrote checks to. We didn't put any information in. So obviously, if you needed to, you go back and double click on them and edit them. That's how you would do it. You would edit the individual one and add the information. That same vendor information pop-up window will come in, and you'd be able to add whatever you needed to. And I've had some clients that literally just only had the phone number and email address. They didn't have any of the other stuff filled in. And so you're just going to put in whatever's important to your company. And we're not saving the vendor contact list because that's not I have it up here, by the way, the announcements. For this chapter, we're going to be saving the trial balance and the balance sheet for both the homework and the chapter work. So just to show you real quick, not to go off topic, but I forgot to mention that in the beginning. For SmartBook Chapter 4 assignment, we'll be saving the profit and loss and the balance sheet. And for the homework, we'll be saving the trial balance and the balance sheet. So we'll be doing the profit and loss for the SmartBook Chapter 4 assignment. I guess I switched it up a little. All right, then it goes like it always does, it has you explore a few other features. They want you to look at the audit log. I'm going to skip that, but I do want you to look at that. So it tells you to look at the audit log, make sure you're, as a manager or owner, you'd go back and look at recent events or recent transactions that transpired and who put it in. Obviously, it's us because we're the only employee at the time. And they tell you to drill down on and view one of the items. Next thing they talk about is inventory. So we right now only have non-inventory cash sales. We are now going to put in an inventory item using the perpetual inventory system. So we look at product and services. In the book, they kind of give you a description, a little definition of what inventory is and description of it. I want you to read that. And then it also talks about the cost of goods sold. So that is an additional step in calculating inventory. So we also take into consideration the cost that we incurred in selling the product. And that obviously is what we purchased it at. So we're going to see that when we set up our inventory products, that we will be acknowledging that. They also, let me show you in the book. And this is what I'm talking about. Read all of this section right here. They're telling you what accounts are affected when you use the perpetual inventory system. You look at inventory, sales, and the cost of goods sold. Of course, the revenue account would be the other. This is our revenue account, our income account. The other one would be cash or accounts receivable. That would be the fourth one, depending on how we sold it. So let's look. If you come down a little, they're saying if we purchase an item, we just literally increase debit our inventory and credit if we purchase it on account, our accounts payable, because we would owe that bill later. It's just one debit and one credit. But when we use a perpetual inventory system, there'd actually be four accounts affected. So in this case, it was accounts receivable. Remember I was saying it would either be cash. Cash would be a sales receipt. If it was an invoice, it would be accounts receivable. So we'll be doing that next, I believe we'll be doing that next chapter, invoices. So if we sold something, let's say to a future company, eBiz, which when we put in our customers, we would debit accounts receivable, but then we also would immediately debit the cost of goods sold. So we'd immediately incur the cost of the item that it costs the company to purchase. So whatever item this is that we're selling, it's a data storage unit. We purchased it at $75. We immediately acknowledge that and take that $75 out of inventory. So in a perpetual inventory system, as soon as you make a sale, that inventory is taken out of the system immediately. And they have complex computerized systems now that track and maintain inventory, so that you should know at all times how many items you have out there and when you need to reorder, repurchase, restock. So that's what the perpetual inventory system is. And there's people who specialize in this. You have inventory specialists that are in charge of large companies and making sure that inventory is always flowing properly, meaning you're never out of stock of products. That's your main goal, to make sure you always have products available for sale. So again, this is the journal entry for it, and it's a 4 entry. It's a compound entry. We have 2 debits and 2 credits. Remember, we would acknowledge the revenue by saying, okay, we made a sale of $150, but we took the $75 out of inventory. It evens itself out. So they're just explaining to you, if you don't remember this from Accounting 101, that's how the perpetual inventory system works. And because of that, when you set up those accounts, you would have to take into consideration all the chart of accounts that are tied to that specific product. And that's what we're going to do right now. We are going to go to sales and then product and services and then create new, and we're going to select inventory. And when we select inventory, remember, we've set up non-inventory with cash sales. That means we're not tracking it, but now we're actually going to be tracking these products. And there's also ways to make sure you alert yourself when you have to repurchase those products. So let's come over here and we're going to go to sales. And we're going to go to products and services. And we're going to go to new. And we do that. This little pop-up window comes up. It should look familiar because we did it before, where it has inventory, non-inventory, service, and bundle. We're going to select inventory. Now, I have this saved, but I'm going to walk you through the first one, okay? So the first one they have us do is data storage. That was what they sold to eBiz a second ago with the example. So a data storage unit is when, whatever you're using. Back in the day, they used to be disks. Now it's usually like a stick or whatever they use to save data from their computer. So it could be a hard drive, I don't know. So it says that quantity on hand should be 0. So we put in name, data storage, scroll down, quantity on hands is 0. And it says that it wants you to use the date 10/1, 10/1 from the first day of business, because we've started this business on October 1st, 2022. So that's the date we're going to use. It tells you to scroll down, and again, under sales information, we want to make sure it comes up as, on your sales form, data storage. I'm typing it exactly as it says in the book. Now, the inventory asset account should be merchandise inventory. So you're going to select 115 merchandise inventory. Remember, that was the account that we saw in that journal entry. And the sales price for this particular item is $30. And we're going to put that to our 401 sales, right? Because that's our revenue account, 401 sales. And then we're going to make sure that it has their tax standard rate. I'm not going to edit that. It should be standard to our location. Then the cost is $15. We purchased those items at $15. And it should be linked, which it already is, to 501 cost of goods sold. And then they're going to tell us for our preferred vendor. This is important because it will automatically come up as this would be the vendor that we would be purchasing it from, because it's our preferred vendor. So our preferred vendor is Ample Store. So it says either select or start to type Ample Store and it'll come up. All right, now I'm not going to save and close because I have this. I'm just going to walk you through it. I'll read the other parts to you. So we have everything just going back to, we tied it to our chart of accounts. That's the important thing. I'm sorry, over here I didn't put data storage. Oops, I missed that. That would be on our purchasing form. Okay, so just to review that everything is complete, I just saw one that I didn't. So we have name over here, data storage, scroll down, and initial quantity on hand should be 0, and it should be 10/1/2022. We're linking the inventory account as 115 merchandise inventory. The description on our sales form would be data storage, and it should be for $30. 401 sales would be our revenue account, income account. Make sure that it says they're taxable, because it certainly is if it is applicable, meaning we're selling it to a customer that's in Arizona, or it might be a governmental organization that we have to apply sales tax to. And then I'm going to scroll down to the purchasing information. This is what it would look like when we're purchasing it. We want to display the name data storage. That's what we select. The cost is $15, and we now tie that to the chart of account 501 cost of goods sold. And here we could select our preferred vendor, and it's Ample Store. And just to throw this out because it just dinged in my mind, a certification question asks, can you add new in the preferred vendor section when entering a new product? And the answer is yes. It was true. There was a question on there, and it's true, you can. So if you scroll up, you'll see add new if need be, you know. So it just dawned on me that is one of the certification questions. All right, click save and close, and we're going to do the next one. Now I have all of them, so I'm just going to read it to you from the book, okay? Okay, so the next one is network products. And the initial quantity on hand should be 0. You're going to do as of date 10/1/2022. You're going to select 115 merchandise inventory. The description in the sales section would be network products. The sales price is $50, and you want to tie that to the 401 sales income account. You want to make sure that it's taxable standard rate, and that in the purchasing section you have network products. The cost was $25. The expense account should be 501 cost of goods sold, and your preferred vendor should be any time deployment. Make sure you put that in there. So preferred vendor, any time deployment. Then you're going to do save and new. The next one is web server. Wait, that says number 4. We didn't do 4 yet. Network product, web server. Data storage, what's the first one? It is not. I don't know why. It's not. This is definitely the third one we're doing. Okay, so the third one is web server. Web server. So go to inventory, select web server. Initial quantity on hand is 0. As of 10/1/2022, it's 115 merchandise inventory. In the sales section, you're going to put web server as the name. Sales price is $400. Select the income account 401 sales. It's taxable. Make sure it says that there. Under the purchasing information, you're going to write again web server, because that's what you would select when you were to make a bill. The cost is $200, and the expense account associated to that is 501 cost of goods sold. And make sure you select preferred vendor as Cloud Z channel. Now, if you were to make a mistake in any of these, when we go later on to create a bill or sell an item, that's when that error is going to pop up. You're going to say, "Oh, wait a minute! It's tied to the correct account, or it's not working." You would have to come back here and make any changes. So you want to make sure you're inputting these all correct. And then the fourth one, although I don't know why it says 5, but the fourth one is webinars. So you're going to, add new inventory item, and the inventory product service information window pops up, and you're going to put webinars, 0 initial quantity on hand, 10/1/2022. Select 115 merchandise inventory as the asset account. In the sales section, you'll put webinars. The sales rate, price rate is $90. The income account is 401 sales. Make sure you see taxable standard rate. In the purchasing information, put webinars. The cost is $45. Make sure you select 501 cost of goods sold, and your preferred vendor is conference call. Make sure you select that, and then you'll go save and close. Then it tells you to go to reports, and I want you to do this, but I'm not going to spend the time with it, but go to reports, type in product service list, and you'll see those products you just inputted with the price and cost. Now, we don't have any quantity in hand, but that would show when we start doing it. One of the things I always tell my clients is always put quantity on hand 0. And do the appropriate purchase of it later. So that's something I always tell clients, side note. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Vendors transaction, we are now going to enter bills. So it says here, the first one we're going to do, if you see on the bottom, bill AS7. So let's do that. So you're going to go to plus sign new, and you're going to go to bills under vendor, which is the third one down. And we already have all of our vendors in there. So we're going to go down and we're going to select Ample Store. The date is 11/2. Automatically it'll populate due date 12/2, notice, because we already put net 30 in there. It's capital A, capital S7. That's, sorry. Okay, let's scroll down. Tags and permit number are new features. You'll see they're not in the book. They did add these also to the certification. So that would be something you'd have to follow along on my future videos to get that information. I just want to show you that. When you scroll down here, oh, they actually don't have a picture of it. Oh, all right. Well, at some point you'll see a picture of a bill, and you'll see that in the book they don't have permit number or tags because these are new features that just came in the last 6 months. And so it was not part of this book. This book was written in 2019. I could only assume it'll be in the 4th edition, which I'm really looking forward to that coming. So now under our items detail, we're going to select, see it says product service. Under our items detail, we're going to select data storage. All right. And then we're going to select quantity 20. At $15 each, the amount would populate at $300. Okay, so let me look at this. All right, so quantity is 20, it should be 300, and it just says save and new. And then we'll have a couple of more as we see down here. All right, so that's going to be, we have the option of save and schedule payment, but we're not doing that. So we're going to, oh, I have a mistake, push save and close. I apologize. I got to go back to plus sign new and bill. You probably went save and new and you're still in bill. The next one is anytime deployment. And the date is 11/3. It'll automatically populate to 12/03. The bill is capital ATD 90. Scroll down, and under items detail, difference between items detail and categories where you put expenses. Items will be actual product or services. So for anytime deployment, we're purchasing 10 network products. So you want to either start to type or select network products, and the quantity will be 10. So we're purchasing 10. And now we would see, if we went back to that report, we would see all these quantity on hand and now added to it. And this will be save and new because we have another one. We have 2 more. The next one is Cloud Z channel for web servers. So the rest of these are November 3rd. So we're going to do Cloud Z channel. And the bill is CZ33. So capital C, capital Z 33. Scroll under item detail and select network products. We are purchasing, oh no, I apologize. It's web server. I apologize. Web server, and it's 8 of them. I was still on that ATD anytime deployment. I forgot. All right. So it's 8. Cloud Z channel is 8 web servers at 200 each. It comes out to $1,600. And we're going to go save and new. And the last one is conference call. Let me just come over here and just double check. We have 250 was the total for anytime deployment. 1,600 was for Cloud Z channel. I just want to show you the book. And the last one is conference call, and we're purchasing 6 webinars for $45 each. So we're going to select conference call. The date is 11/3. The bill number is 78CC. 78, capital CC. Scroll down to items detail and select webinars. The quantity is going to be 6. The total should come out to $270. And that's going to be save and close. All right. And then it says it wants us to go to report and look at the different reports. Now, the 2 that I said you had to save from this chapter was the profit and loss and the balance sheet, correct? So let's do those, okay? Just to show you, I think I still have it up here, yep. Smart Book Chapter 4, I ask you for the profit and loss and the balance sheet. So let's do those 2, okay? You could do all of them, which you should do all of them that are in the book and double check yourself. But we're not actually in the class, so I'm not gonna do everything that we did. So let's do the profit and loss. I could have picked it over there for my favorites, but you have to probably type it in, and you want to scroll up and you're going to use the dates that they're telling us in the book. They said October 1st to November 3rd. So October 1st, 2022 to November 3rd. And then run report. And then we're going to scroll down and check if our number is correct. We have 3977.19. And yes, that is what they have in the book. So let's look over here. I'm going to scroll down. There's a couple of them that they have us do, but we're going to fast forward to profit and loss. Ooh, did I pass it? And the balance, valuation, trial balance. Up, I think it's in the next one. Oh, here we go. Profit and loss, and it's 3977.19. So this is one of those chapters. They have several financial statements that they're doing. Back the way we used to teach it, you had to save all of them. It was a bit much. Now we're going to do the balance sheet, and the balance sheet are the same dates, October 1st to November 3rd. And as you see, it's 717.63.19. Let's just make sure we have that. So you're going to go, now you guys know how to save it. I'm not going to go over the steps of saving. You should know how to do that at this point. So I'm going to go back to reports. I'm going to go to balance sheet. I'm going to put in the dates October 1st to November 3rd. And then make sure you save it the name that's in the file. October 1st. The file name that's in the book to November 3rd. And I'm going to come over here to run report. And I want to make sure that I have that correct number there. 71763.19. Yes, I do. So I'm going to, then you're just going to save that. Exactly. You should know how to save. I'm not going to go over that anymore from this point on. And that last one was chapter 4 underscore profit and loss. And then the balance sheet is chapter 4 underscore balance sheet. So you're going to save those 2. And that's what you would send me in lieu of the Smart Book chapter 4. Now we're going to do the homework. Just to show you in the book, the next thing they do is to filter the audit log. You know, they like to make sure you understand all the features. I'm not going to go over these steps with you. Actually, I would like you to still do it, but it's just showing you how you can drill down specific transactions if need be. We're going to go straight to the homework and save the files from there. But I do want you to do that. Just you're going to have to do that on your own time because I see this video is getting quite lengthy, and we have a lot. We have a lot in the homework. So exercise 4.1, there's quite a bit. It starts off with adding a vendor, okay? So you should know, hopefully at this point, how to do that. I'm just going to read it to you because I already have this vendor. You're going to go to the navigation pane. You're going to go to expenses, and then you're going to see under expenses vendor, and you're going to go and you're going to add new. Do you remember that? And then the new vendor pop-up window comes in, the vendor information. You're going to put the information, it's up here, the name, the company. Make sure that company is what's under the display name, okay? So it has computers to you, Miss Sherry Milton. The address is 2006 East 14th Avenue, Los Angeles, California 90046, and that's country USA. Just remember, you have to make sure to drill down and select under the display name computers to you, because if not, then the person's name is what's going to come up when you go to bill. You don't want that. Then they want you to add the following inventory items. So this is where you would go to sales and you scroll down to the bottom one, which is product and inventory, and you're gonna select product and services, I think it is, and you're gonna select, add new inventory, okay? And the name would be computers, initial quantity on hand would be 0 as of date 10/1/2022. You wanna link that to the inventory asset account 115, merchandise inventory. The sales description would be computers, sales price 1,000, income account would be 401 sales. Make sure you see that taxable standard rate. And purchasing info would be computers. The cost is 500. Tie that to 501 cost of goods sold. And preferred vendor is computers to you, the one we just put in. It says before entering checks, confirm that your dashboard, or really you don't have to, you go right to checks and just confirm that your balance is 50343.19 in your checking account, and then write the following checks. So we have some checks that we need to write. So we're going to go to plus sign new under vendor. The second one down is checks. We'll go ahead and check that balance right there in our checking account, 50343.19. We're good to go. So the first check they have here is office suppliers, right? Check 1031 for the 4th of November. So I'm going to come over here and select office suppliers. I'm going to select the payment date 11/4/2022. I already have check number 1031 there. We're going to scroll down. They should already have populated the expense account. The last check we wrote was $19.99, so we're going to override that and put 90.82, save and new. The next one is Moss Advertising. So I'm going to come over here. I'm typing because my computer screen is acting up. But you would select Moss Advertising. We have all of these now, so you shouldn't have to add new any of them. Actually, it's still the same date, 11/4, and it's going to be for $125. So I'm going to come down over here. Oh, I don't need to override because I have 125 there. I'm going to go save and new. The next one is Cellular Service. Select Cellular Service. The date is going to be 11/5, so let's change that to 11/5. Scroll down, the amount is $82.13, which we have, so we're going to go save and new. The next one is Village Restaurant. Remember with Village Restaurant, we use ATM, so we're going to select Village Restaurant. The date is 11/5 still, but we're going to highlight over the account number and type in ATM. I'm going to scroll down and override the price to $46 for 6.40. $46.40, save and new. The next one is for the 6th, hours delivery with an H, so we're going to put hour delivery. We put the date, should be the 6th. Scroll down and override the price to $42. $42.25. Save and new. We have our last one. I'm still going to go save and new because I want to check and make sure my balance is correct. This last one is office suppliers. And the check number is 1035. The date is still the 6th. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to override this amount, and it's $21. I'm going to go save and new because I want to make sure that I have that 49935.59 cents. 49935 and 59 cents. Wonderful. So we can now go to the next thing, which is several transactions. We got a lot of homework in this chapter. I hate to tell you, look at all of this. Okay. So now they have us doing, I can say for some reason, students tend to make mistakes with this. So you want to go slow. If I'm going too fast, you want to slow down and stop and just double check yourself, okay? If you feel like this is too much, take a break then and come back to this point and do it later. That's fine. But I know a lot of students tend to make mistakes here because there's quite a bit to do in a small amount of time, but they're all going to be for November 8th. Okay, so the first couple are bills. So we're going to input these bills here. So you see here, it says bill ADC2U received from computers to you. All right, so let's start there. So we're going to go to plus sign new, and under vendor, the third one down, sorry, is bill, and we're going to select computers to you. And the dates are going to be 11/8. That's one good thing. We don't have to change the dates. And then the bill number is 80, capital C, the number 2, capital U. Scroll down, and under item detail, you're going to select computers. And under quantity, you're going to select 20. We purchased 20 computers, coming up to $10,000. It's a nice purchase, huh? Save and new. The next one, we still have November 8th, so we don't have to change that. The next one is anytime deployment. So select anytime deployment. The bill number is capital ATD 131. And we purchased 11 network products. So you're going to scroll down to items detail. They already have network products because we've purchased them from them before. All we have to do is change the quantity to 11, and then it'll change it to 275, and then that is save and new. The next one is Cloud Z channel. I'm so glad it's not slow today. And the bill number is CZ40. Scroll down, and it's 7 web servers. Web servers should be there. You just have to go over the quantity and change that to 7, and it'll populate $1,400, and that's save and new. The next one is conference call. And the bill number is 91CC. Scroll down, and it's going to be webinars 5. It'll change that down to 225, and that's going to be save and new. The next bill is Ample Store. The bill number is AS12, capital AS12. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do? Let me just check this real quick. Great way to check yourself. So the last one I did was 91CC. Yes. I didn't do, yes, okay, I did CZ40 and 91CC. Okay, the next one is Ample Store, so I am correct. Ample Store. It's AS12, and it's 25 data storage. So I'm going to override the quantity, and I'm going to type in 25, and the total is 375. And I'm going to go save and close, because the next one, I hope for those of you who might be ahead of me said, wait a minute, no, that's not a bill. Because the first couple were bills. Let's go down and right after Ample Store, you see it says sold 3 computers for cash. So when we sell for cash, what is that? Sales receipt. So we're going to go to +9 new customer. The 5th one down is sales receipt. So select sales receipt, and we sold it for cash. So what would we select there? Cash sales, right? Remember, when we sell for cash, that's going to be cash sales. So we're going to go to cash sales. We're going to scroll down. So we don't need the customer information. It just came in. That seems weird though. They're buying 3 computers. So I would think that we would maybe get their information, but okay. Quantity 3. And that should come out to $3,000. But remember, we have to apply sales tax. I have that here checked. So it comes out to $3,183. And that's going to be save and new. Because we have another one, because the next one was sold 4 computers for cash. And that's going to be another cash sale. Surprisingly, again, we don't get that customer's information. Me, as a business owner, I would want that customer's information because I would want, you know, to be able to send them, I don't know, sales information or coupons. This one actually is going to be November 10th. November 10th. Oh, I didn't notice the other one before that. 104 was November 9th. I can go back and change that. So They're not giving us the information on what they spent either, so I'm leaving payment method empty. I'm just going to select computers, and we sold 4, and that was for $4,000, but it comes out with tax to $42.44. So if you don't have the tax, you have to override and make sure you have the tax for both of those. I'm going to go save and new because I just realized that I was supposed to put November 9th. I forgot it was just the bills that were all November 8th. So remember, guys, how to make a change. So this right here, this sales receipt 104, I'm going to double check. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to change the date to November 9th. So I see I had. It's not a big deal, but I just always like to do corrections anyway so that you are aware of how to do them. So save and close. It wasn't really a big deal. All right, so after those 2 cash sales, we go back to bills. I'll go back to the book so you can see, for those of you who have your book open. We had the 2 cash sales, and then it goes back to bills. So we have 2 bills, and then we have another cash sale. So this is 11/11. You see they keep the bills at the same date. So we have 2 bills here that we now. So where do we go for bills? Plus I knew, third one down, bill under vendor. And the bill was to computers to you. Selling computers, right? So I want to go make sure we buy more and have them in inventory. The date is 11/11, as I said, so we want to change that. And the bill number is 112, capital C, to you. Scroll down, and we're purchasing 6 computers, so we're going to override that 20 and change it to 6, and it'll come out to 3,000, right? And we're going to go save and new because we have another bill, one more bill after that. And that next bill is conference call. So select conference call. The date is still 11/11. The bill number is 115, capital CC. Scroll down, and we have 5 webinars. Oh, that's the same amount we purchased last time. So that is going to be what? A save and close. The last thing we have for homework is cash sales. We sold 3 computers. I think you saw that one, so I don't have to bring the book back up. I'm going to go plus sign new, 5th one down, sales receipt. We're selling a lot of computers to people and not getting their information. Not really a good business practice, but what can we do? This is what they did. The date is the 12th, so we're going to change the date to 11/12. It's number 1006. We are selling 3 computers, so under products, we're going to select computers. And we sold 3 of them, so I'm going to change the quantity to 3. And I already have my sales tax applied, so it should come out to $31.83. Remember, if yours isn't, override it. Make sure that you have that. And that's going to be save and close. Now I'm going to save my trial balance and my balance sheet, right? Because that's what I believe we have here let me just double check. I think I checked that in the beginning, but I just want to double check. If you scroll down in the announcement sections, I have the unit projects as you have to send me the trial balance and the balance sheet. Yes, so let's go ahead and do that together. So I go to reports, and I'm gonna start to type in trial balance. They're telling me the dates are October 1st to November 12th. So October 1st, our first day of business, and then our last reported day of business was November 12th. And I'm going to select Run Report. Let's see what that number is. It's 99896. Wonderful, because that's what it tells you in the book. If you look at your ebook, that's the amount it's supposed to be. So I was 100% correct. Wonderful. We shouldn't have any errors here. So it's 99896. And now we're going to do the balance sheet. Let's do the balance sheet. So we go to reports. Remember, you have to save that. I'm not going over those steps anymore with you because you should be aware of those steps on how to save and what to save it at. So you're going to go to the ebook and make sure you have those file names there so you send it to the appropriate place. We're only doing 2 of these. I tried to, back in the day, you literally used to have to send all of these. It was crazy. But now I only ask for a few. So it's exercise 4-2 _ trial balance, and then it's exercise 4-2 _ balance sheet. and they had the dates there. They have a couple of figures there, but they do not have the balance sheet, so that's why I'll do that with you. It's in it. No, actually, it's not. It's not in the book. Actually, you're right. So I don't even know why I said that to you a second ago. It's not, because this is the homework. So I will do it with you since they don't have it in the book. So you want to check against me and make sure that your balance sheet is correct. Oops, I went too far. And it should be the 12th, right? And we're going to go run report. And the number I have is 92465.59. Okay? 92465.59. They actually might have that. You know what? I think they do. Yes, they do. 42465.59. They actually do have that figure for you. So we are correct. Wonderful. So you're going to save that, and you're going to either upload those in announcements or send me them as an email for the Unit 2 project, and that would complete week 2 of QuickBooks. Some of you are not getting all of your assignments in. You want to make sure you stay on top of doing the assignments and discussion questions. Send me an email if you have any questions. So I did make this under an hour, but this was quite a bit of work, and don't be discouraged if you might have an error. Just be prepared to, deal with that in the beginning of the next class. All right, take care.